Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Some of this is going to be quite easy. Some of this is going to be a pain in the posterior. So let's start with not a nested template. Let's start with the base template. Because what we're going to do is get this circle and that circle right first. So the background of the main page is that, except we will actually put that as part of a radial gradient. We will use this color first for what? 100 pixels, then that color 0. We'll add a 1Q. 100 is too much. How about 80? 80 looks right. We'll leave that like that for now. Well, actually, we'll add one more radial gradient. 1Q at 200 pixels in, 100 pixels down. This color for maybe 30 pixels and then transparent. Okay, too high. Make that 120. Shouldn't be far off. There we go. Now all we need is this bit here. Which I think we can probably do with one element. So let's go P. Width 100, height 50, background, this color, border radius 25 maybe. No, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that middle circle. Now that had 30, so let's make it 40 pixels, and then let's make this height 80 and this width 120. And then let's margin this into place. 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. I hate it when it does that. Change that back to an ampersand. Try and margin 0 on that. That does not help. It has just moved. Why have you moved this second radial gradient but not the first one? What is that all about? Now you'll stop moving that, so that's fine. I think that's a slightly bigger radius than that even. How about 50, 60? See, 120 does appear to be the width. One 62, 3, 65. Okay. as big as that will go. So let's try. Is that because it's too... might be too wide. Try 130. Then make this bigger. Well, 40 is too much. How about 135? This is a horrible, horrible. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Let's stop trying to do that for now, because that's just annoying. We'll do another radial gradient. Let's try 61Q. This color 60 pixels, then transparent for 0. Then let's try shifting that into place a bit just to see whether or not it is. So minus 50 pixels, 100 pixels, 60, 70, probably be 72 then. Minus 30, 20. Okay, 60 is not going to be right. How about 40? Is that going to be the right curve? I don't think so. That curve is just weird. I don't like that curve. Minus 20. See, that's not going to be right. That's going to be too small. That's possibly too big. So how about 35, 6, 7. See, that's getting close. But I don't think that's a circle there. So that could be a problem. think that's even a proper arc at all. So we might, let's get rid of that. Let's put a paragraph back in. Set its background to this color again. Set its width to 140 to 260, so 120. Yeah. We set its height to looks like 160. So 160. I think it's probably 161 or 162, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's just call it 160 to 230, which makes it 70. And then let's move that into place. So 150 and auto. 150, 160, 160. 2, 3 gets the top, and we take 3 off of the height, so 67 looks right. Now we have some interesting things that we need to do, which will involve probably using the shape command. So what I really want to know is how arcs work. Arc of what was hope? Okay. This could go horribly wrong. So could we use? We could use curve 2 maybe. Okay, so we start with the from. Clip path shape from. We know that's 163. That is 202. So 40, 39. 39 down, so from 0, 39 pixels. Curve 2. save ourselves a little bit of time, we're just going to go straight down at this point, and then we're going to leave that as the clip path for now. Why has that not worked? Curve to curve to width. Okay, yeah, I needed the width. Whoop. 155. Great. 155. 178. 155. 178. 155, so 15. And 15. Is that anywhere near the right line? Is it hell? Let's raise that up a bit. About 10 and 10. 9 and 9. 9 and 9 is good. Something like 41, 42, 43, 40. Nine looks good. What does 8 look like? 8 and 8 is wrong. How about 8 and 9? 8 and 10, 8 and 11, not 111. 7, 7, 8, 9. I think 8 and 8 was most of the way there. Now from there we went line to uh, 42, 42 off of 120 will give me 80, 78. So let's try 78 pixels, 0, and then a curve to 100%, 39 pixels with 120 minus 8 is 118 pixels. 8 pixels. Huh. Do I need to do that? Okay, so there's no clockwise or counterclockwise on that, so why? Oh, because that should be 112, you pillock. That's much better. See, and then we're just looking for that bottom line. which we can probably do with a curve to 0.39 pixels with 50%, 100%. See, that doesn't quite go where I want it. Is there a way to make sure that it goes through it? Would be too easy if it went through it, wouldn't it? $120, 130, 140%. Ugh. Well, there's one thing for sure, I don't think that's going to get us 100%. It's not going to be far off, but it's that bottom that's going to get us. So let's try 40 there. And 40 there. And 40 there. See this curve, I think we actually want arc to 0.40. Arc, it should be 2. We want it to go clockwise. Ah! Where did I leave that? There we go. Small. Rotate 120 degrees. Why is this not working? Clockwise. Ah. Hoo-hoo. Do I need that bit? No. Okay. Okay. Let's see how well that does us. $99.9. %, 40 pixels. 1, 2, which would be 8 pixels off and 8 pixels down. What happens if I change that to 9? that 10. It's all about that. Ooh, that right shoulder. Let's try that. Okay, how about if instead of this we use arc2 and of 60 pixels clockwise, 61, 62, 63, 64, 60, about 59, 58, 57, 56. Ooh, could that just be a 55 pixel arc? If we get rid of this and do arc2 of 55 pixels clockwise, it looks reasonable. Let's see. Right, that gets us 100%. Now we could switch things around so it goes the other way round, because by default arcs go counterclockwise, which, you know, whatever. But well, let's just minify and unit replace it first, and then we can think about going the other way. Okay, so that's not a terrible score, it's just not a good score. Right, so let's just quickly change these around. So what we actually want is this arc first, which goes down to the bottom, and we don't want it to be clockwise, we want it to default to what it's supposed to. Then we want to swap this one with this one, and get rid of that and that. I'll just have with here. Hang on, what's that doing? Oh, no. That wants an arc to 78, but hang on. Let's go from 0 to 40. That needs to go to 100% 40, yeah. Then that actually wants to be an arc that's going back on itself, so that wants to be 70, 78, 0. Yeah, and then this line 2 wants to be 42, 0. No, yes. And then this arc 2 wants to be 0 and 40 pixels, and it does not want to go clockwise. Oh, let's see if that still matches. It does. Minify, unit replace, submit. See, now if I could If I could have got those corners just right, I think we could have done this a lot easier. So let's, in fact, so we know that that's 55 pixels now. And that distance there is 78 and 42, so 42, 36, so 36 on to 110 is 146. So let's just make this 146 wide. Now we're going to make it 55 border radius, which means we must have it at least that. Now we set border radius to 55 pixels and we get rid of the clip path, and then we wonder why on earth that does that. Let's try 136, 120. See, 126 is so close. Let's make that 162, 161, 162.5. No, let's just leave it as 162. It's so close. 125.5, 6.7.8. No, that's going the wrong way. 0.1. 124.5. See, this works with the clip path. So, anyway. Okay, let's. Could you do it with a 80 pixel mask? How do you do mask? Okay. Let's do mask. Radial gradient. 1Q at minus 60 pixels. White for 80 pixels. Then black. this should be. Hmm. Right, 20. What happens if I make that 0? Okay. Minus 10, 11, 12. Okay, okay. Well, let's give that a whirl. It's the first time I've used a mask in these, so sorry for taking so long about that, but it also didn't work for me, so that's great. But whether or not that's because the top is out or I still think that should be that, which is a bit of a pain because that looks very, very wrong in the diff. But we did do this with a 55 pixel border radius before. 55, 110. See, that should be 156, but 42 to 72, 76, 36, 3600, that should be 146. Just doesn't make sense. Two one, two two. See that? I hate it when it does this. 161.5. Okay, let's do 162. But let's also put a linear gradient of transparent for 1 pixel and then black. Two pixels, 3 pixels, 4 pixels, 5. Let's just try that. Okay, look, I'm not going to mess about with this today. It's I've already sat here for long enough at this point. So we're going to load up the working solution, which is quite long, but it does at least work. It is a huge clip path using shape to do all of the bits. We are using a 55 pixel arc in there all of the time, so quite why it decides that that is going to not work, I don't know. It's very frustrating, but hey, you know, these things happen. And that's where we're just going to check that this is 100% before we close off the video. Let's also take off 3 more characters because we can. There we go. That's where we're going to leave it for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.